In our previous segment, we talked about how we as a society are very deficient in trace minerals. And in this segment, we're going to talk about how to fill that deficiency. And Dr. Starkey, we have a really fun demonstration. What's going on here?
Sure. You know, what we're best known for in the industry, Scott, literally is our light demonstration. That's what they know trace minerals by, because once you see the light, that's all they want to talk about is the light bulb.
Right.
Now, what I'd like to do is kind of explain the light demonstration. What we have here, Scott, is a positive negative probe open circuit.
Right.
And what I'd like to do is we're going to go ahead and just take a nickel, an element, and we're going to go ahead and close that circuit, and we get a light.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So the electricity is flowing through the nickel, and
we're closing that circuit. Absolutely.
Okay.
So to me, the most important thing to understand here from this demonstration is that this is what's keeping us alive. If you think about it, by definition of death, it's not when the heart stops beating, because there's our heartbeat, right?
Oh, okay, right.
It's when that electrical current in the brain stops that they pronounce us dead. So we're nothing but a very sophisticated machine ran off electrical, current.
Yeah, okay.
And that's what we're trying to, show with this demonstration is what does our food offer?
Okay.
Okay, let's go ahead, Scott, if you would, put those positive and negative probes into that potato.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to
Right.
It's alive.
Right.
And think about that. It's a live food. Most of the foods that we're eating today, Scott, literally, we either cook it, nuke it, eat it out of can. We've discussed that.
Yeah, right.
We're eating very little of this raw food.
Yeah, true.
Let's go ahead and put it in the tomato.
Okay. Oh, good. So you got minerals there. And the apple.
And the apple. Let's go ahead and put it in the banana.
Banana.
Now let's go back to the apple. Did you see that huge drop?
Yeah, it was less than the others, quite a bit. Okay.
What I love to really think about this, the apple a day that kept the doctor away, it wasn't what the apple tastes like. It's what the apple offered. Therefore, we have to eat that apple in order to get what the apple offered, right?
Yeah.
But if the apple doesn't offer what it once did, because why? We discussed that soil deficiency. If it's not in the soil, how can it be in the apple? And if it's not in the apple, how is it going to keep the doctor away from us? So let's take it to the next step. Let's go ahead and focus on alfalfa. Okay. Alfalfa.
And why alfalfa?
Because that's a great question. Alfalfa is known as the grandmaster of all herbs.
Okay.
Land grown. Because of the fact that its root system has been known to grow anywhere from 25 to 75 feet into the Earth's surface.
Wow.
Now, at that same time, let's think about this. If the farmers are utilizing the top 2 feet of the American soil, and we have a plant that reaches 25 to 75 feet, it's utilizing those minerals at that lower, that much deeper level, and therefore that plant that's providing that mineral for us, because why? It's prepared it for us.
Yeah, okay.
So let's go ahead and see if we get I'm going to go ahead and this is distilled water. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and stir this up, Scott. Okay. And what do we get?
Oh, same response.
Same response as our fruits and vegetables, right?
So it's plant. It's like a plant or an herb or whatever, right? Same type of thing.
And in this case, when you think about it, that's how Mother Nature intended to feed our bodies those trace minerals. It's through our food.
Right.
Okay. So
but because of soil deficiency, we're not getting as much of the minerals, correct?
And therefore, I believe it's like playing Russian roulette with our health. When we eat those foods, we're basically putting our health on the line because we have no idea where those foods are coming from fact where they're being grown.
Yeah,
okay?
Right.
So let's take it to the next step. Let's really focus in on trace mineral supplements.
Okay.
Because that's what we're discussing here is how do we fulfill that deficiency. The first thing I want to this product is known as a colloidal mineral. Okay? A colloid, by definition, is a large aggregate clump of mineral in suspension. Now, where do they get it? I mean, that's an important piece of that information because, again, we're thinking about the soil here, right?
Right.
Well, so they mine it.
Right.
They grind it.
Okay.
They leach it, and then they have to suspend it.
So there's minerals in there, and it's like floating or something? Is
absolutely. That's the suspension. So in other words, when we put, if you would for me, let's go ahead and put in 5 drops.
Okay, 5 drops of
5
the
drops.
colloidal minerals. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
And what type of response we get?
Nothing.
Now let's think about that. We spend our hard-earned money on a product that we believe we're getting benefit
Getting
because
the
the
trace
mineral,
minerals from,
and it's
right?
not that the minerals aren't there, that it's literally the body has to go through a digestive process in order to break down those minerals, and therefore we have to depend on our digestive system to do that for us. Now, if you think about our society today, with the type of digestive disorders that we have, that's going to be very difficult.
Well, like IBS or irritable bowel, right? Something like that.
All form, and of course, constipation.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the minerals that are in the colloidal, or the colloidal minerals, aren't the same as what is in like a fruit or vegetable, obviously, right? Because we're not getting a response here.
Well, and again, they didn't, in this case, that plant
Right.
or that tree or didn't prepare that for it.
Yeah.
Because it was basically taken from a clay deposit.
Okay.
Now let's go ahead and think. Let's take the trace minerals.
Okay. So this is
The ConcenTrace
right?
trace mineral drops. These are ionic, and by definition, the ion is a group of atoms that carry a positive or a negative charge.
Okay.
So they dissociate extremely well in solution. Why is that important? Because
So we dissolve or whatever. Is
we
that what you
just
mean?
talked about suspension here. Now we're talking about being able, well, in this case,
So it becomes part of the solution, or it becomes part of the water. It doesn't just. It's not just floating, right?
well,
Is
in
that
this
what you
case,
mean?
the important aspect of this is that it carries that charge.
Oh, right.
Okay. So if you would
right.
for me, go ahead and put in 1 drop.
Okay. And how many trace minerals are in this product?
That's a great question. 72.
Oh, wow.
72
So
trace
that's a lot.
minerals.
Okay. So 1 drop.
1 drop.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Now, going back to we saw how each fruit or vegetable
So
fluctuates.
it's the same. Like with the tomato, it's the same. We're getting the same type of minerals, right? So the minerals that are prepared by the plants or whatever, or the tree, it's the same type of minerals.
Right. Our bodies didn't. So in other words, let's really build on that. To me, this is just like eating a raw diet, but we have consistency over it.
Yeah,
now you're
right.
probably also thinking, well, why don't I just go ahead and take an alfalfa tablet? Well, in this case, again, the concentration, this is 78 times the concentration of ocean water. So in other words, it takes very little to give us what would have to be taken. So in other words, you would have to consume a truckload
Yeah.
of alfalfa.
Well, I was going to say the ionic minerals. I mean, that's so much brighter. Than even like the apple, for example.
Right.
It's
So in
like
other
hardly
words,
there.
let's go back to that concept then. The apple a day that kept the doctor away, that's our solution.
Yeah.
It's
so-
putting that foundation back in at our consistency. So in other words, we don't have to ask the question, where's it coming from?
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, thanks, Dr. Starkey.
Nick Scott.